Need some fast, cheap, reliable MUT coins? Go to MMOXP.com and use discount code MONEYSHOT for 5% off your order. Link in the description below. Welcome back, YouTubers and Madden fans. This is MADDENMONEYSHOT, sniffing out the Madden cheese as always. Got another coverage video for you today. Been getting a lot of requests on how to beat Cover 4, more specifically Cover 4 Drop Show 2. That's been a thorn in a lot of people's sides for a couple of Maddens now. And today I'm going to probably do the ultimate video on how to beat it. I'm going to show you guys adjustments you can make to beat it, depending, no matter what play you pick. I'm going to show you guys concepts that beat it. I'm going to show you plays that beat it. And then I'm also going to show you a way to home run it pretty easily to the point where you probably won't even have to, this will not be a problem for you anymore. After watching this video, if you watch it to the end, you will not have a problem beating Cover 4 anymore. So starting off, I'm just going to start off with some simple adjustments. I guess I'll start off with a specific play, the hitch corner, which is a play that I just put out. There's a lot of plays in here that really would fit the bill. I'm also going to show the Empty Y Saint. This is probably the one that I use the most going back, a while now. So I'll start off with the Saints fork. Like I said, the play doesn't necessarily matter. I'm just going to show you the concept really that matters. And then, like I said, the play that I'm attacking today is the Cover 4 Drop Show 2. So like I said, it doesn't really matter. I'm not necessarily showing this to show this particular play. This is kind of a combination of concept and play. What you have on the right side there with Cook, the RB route, and the A and the B route, those three routes right there are pretty much going to make up one of the easier concepts to beat a defense like this. So all I'm going to do, I mean, I don't have to really do anything. This should beat it just like this, but I want to put the B route on a streak because I'm pretty much isolating on that outside quarter, which is that cornerback. I want to draw him back. He's the most important thing right now and what I'm going to attack on this play. So putting him on a streak, drawing him back, and then the RB route really just comes out right over the top of it. That's one of the weaknesses of this particular defense is the outside. As long as you stretch back these outside corners, I mean, it's the same thing on the other side. I just don't have a route really that's doing, that's going to work in this scenario because you also need something to pull underneath. You can see right here, there's no route, there's no receiver pulling the coverage down underneath where the hook flat is, so it's not necessarily going to work. Now you can, once again, like I said, it's the same type of concept. I can try to draw him down with Cook. Not necessarily going to work out too great, but this is probably the best option I have. This might create a throwing window of some kind, but you can see it just doesn't really work out. You need something that goes a little bit deeper, and that's why these corner routes, which is what RB's running, typically work better. So, like I said, it's the same type of triangle concept that I've put out in Cover 2 scenarios. If you've seen when I do Cover 2 defenses, it's the same type of idea. You need something high, you need something low. You just have to isolate one of the zones that you're trying to attack. So, like I said, right here one more time. I mean, it's not the biggest window, but it's there. You're seeing I'm beating it pretty much every time. So now I'm in the hitch corners play, which, like I was saying, is pretty much the exact same concept. Got to pull that Cover 4 corner back with the B route. Need something underneath to to pull that curl flat down, and then the RB route's going to get open over the top. I mean, it's pretty simple. I mean, there's not really too much to it. It's just the throw window is not necessarily huge, but it's there. I could also get that effect if I want to motion across. It's just going to be the exact same thing. You just need 3 wide receivers, and then you can see how this is basically the concept right here. And then, like I said, throwing window isn't huge. I mean, you have a lot of zones dropping back. It's not going to be huge, but you can see how that's the concept that you need to use to beat this defense. So now I'm just going to pick a random play. So obviously it gave me a run play, but that's fine. So we're just going to pick a random pass play. It doesn't really matter. So really how you want to beat, once again, you always want to have a guy to the sideline. One of your receivers has to be to the sideline to have the effect that I'm going for here because, once again, you're still trying to isolate that Cover 4 outside corner. So now that I have one guy at the sideline, even though, like I said, I would have preferred to pick a formation with that so I can have both guys at the sideline, all I really need to do, there's a couple different hot routes that really work. The best one for Cover 4 is definitely going to be the out route, smart route at 10 yards. This is going to beat this coverage. I don't want this fullback to get in the way. He's running some sort of route that could mess that up. But if I isolate that cornerback one more time, put him on an out route, and then smart route him at 10 yards, the second he breaks outside, even though I get a bad throw, you can see how he's outside of the cornerback 4 every time. So here we go once again. Like I said, it's giving me a lot of run plays, but that's fine. So let's go ahead and let's do this. Like I said, I'll motion this guy to the sideline. I'll put the B on a streak just to get him out of the way. and then this is going to be a good play at about 10 yards. Like I said, I can just steal this all game. You can see he's getting outside of that. Your opponent, if you just do that enough, your opponent's going to have to abandon running cover 4 because there's nothing they can do about it. Here's another scenario. I don't know why they keep giving me run plays. Here's another scenario. Ultimately, like I said, I'd like to have a formation where both receivers are out. It won't really work from in like this, because this way your opponent can't do something like, a lot of times if they realize what you're doing, they'll just use that cornerback and try to take away that one route. So that's why I'd rather be in a formation where both receivers on the outside or to the boundary, so you can have that effectiveness on both sides. Because like I said right here, you're going to see the B route being so far in, he doesn't get that window. So now I'm going to look like that, where I have the receivers to the boundary on both sides. Once again, the out routes would work. If you don't know how to put them on an out route, it's just it's right there. It's the D-pad to the left, and then I'd have to do it over again and hit the RB, which is the smart route at the bottom. So you can do that. Another decent option is the comeback routes. The comeback routes are okay. I don't think they're as good as the out routes, but you could always do those. To me, I mean, the flat route there is meant to pull coverage back. You can see it gets there. Once again, poor timing, bad throw. I'm not a huge fan of out routes unless it's man coverage. Man coverage, I'll do that out route all game. But you can see, I mean, he does get left alone by himself. So, that's another good option. But there are things, to me, the timing on an out route, for whatever reason, can get messed up a little bit easier than the out routes. I don't know why. But you can see, just like, if you just don't time it perfectly, a lot of times it can be off. So it's a little bit funky. Out routes, comeback routes, those are really good for this, and that's probably the best adjustments you can make. There probably aren't a lot of other good ones. If you do something like a zig, you're not going to get deep enough, but you can see you can get a zig for 5. All these things that attack to the boundary are going to be what works out. So, I mean, zigs, it's because this is one of the issues being to the boundary, because you're so close to the boundary. Even if you catch it, you can't really turn up and get much more than that. And then last but not least, we're going to go over a home run. Once again, I'm using it. And then last but not least, we're going to go over a home run concept for cover 4, which should make this even easier. I'm using one out of the Gun Y Off Trio Week. Once again, I'm in the Saints playbook, so you can see that there. But the play that I'm going to use is the PA post dig shot. I'll try to find a couple other variations so you can find these in your own particular playbooks. But it's really just the route. The red route that is being run on this play is probably the most important thing. So let's go and let's pick that. If you can find that red route, you should be good. If you can find that red route in your playbook, where he's to the boundary, once again, they always have to be to the boundary when it comes to these type of plays, but if you can find that red route, you should be able to augment what I'm going to show you to that particular play that's in your book. So this play actually works out pretty good just like this, but since the patch, I find that it works best if you just put this other boundary receiver, the B route here, into a smoke screen, and that's pretty much all you have to do. This is pretty much the setup. All I'm going to do, really, I just want to kind of buy my time, get outside typically, but you can see once he gets past that cornerback right there, he gets bumped a little bit, but you can see that that bump probably took away a little bit of his acceleration, but you can see how easily this type of play can beat a cover 4 for a home run, just because of all this route's doing. He's breaking, I mean, I used to do it a couple different ways, but he's breaking it about 20 yards. Like I said, that bump right there kept him from being way gone. But you can see, I mean, even with Michael Thomas, who's not really one of my fastest, he's not a fast receiver. You know what I mean? I don't have, Ted Ginn's the fastest guy, but I didn't even bother to change it because I know this play is going to work. But you can see just that little bit of contact is what kept him from being probably 5 yards gone rather than just 2 yards gone. But let's watch what's happening on the other side, because that's what's important. So this cornerback's supposed to handle that. But he's kind of ISO'd once again. I'm always ISOing this guy. He's ISO'd to this receiver right here who doesn't run a route at all. He just stops. So that's going to make him just basically fall off a cliff, where he just kind of stays the lowest at all the deep 4 corners. And that's why it helps to get this guy across. Not to mention this guy right here too. He kind of bites on this crosser here, which is why I can't change that, because all these things are just small variances when it comes to the defensive coverage, but you can see the effect that it's having. So let's go ahead and let's end the video there. Like I said, I should have shown you just about every single way you can beat that defense to get your opponent to pretty much abandon that defense. You shouldn't have a problem with it anymore if you follow these concepts, these plays, these adjustments. You have a million different ways to beat cover 4. So if you want to see more videos like this, let me know in the comment section with the like button. I'll do that next. Other than that, thanks for watching. Madden Money Shot out. Need more help or just want to show your support? Then head over to my Patreon and join my team, where you can get exclusive content like ebooks and bonus plays, as well as early access to my vids and more. Link in the description below.